Hello everyone. So today I decided to go on a little bike ride around North Sydney just to highlight how dangerous it can be to ride in our area. This route I went from the end of the Harbour Bridge to Percy's up on Miller Street, and I think you'll be surprised with how dangerous this route actually is. So as we come off the bridge, we're already faced with a bit of a conundrum. Do I ride onto the road or do I go on the footpath? Now, looking at this sign, there's a sign up there that says it's a shared path, so I'm going to take the path. So we're only a few seconds at the bridge and we're already at a problem here. Now, shared paths are extremely dangerous for cyclists and for pedestrians. If there was a ramp that went over this plaza, we wouldn't have that issue. It would take bikes off the road and bikes off the path that I'm currently on. So as we're riding along, you'll notice on the left-hand side, there's plenty of shared bike path signs, which is very helpful. It just reminds people that it is a shared path. Now, it's important to remember through this little trip, I am doing the recommended route, so the official route that bikes are supposed to take. As we get to the end of Alfred Street, I hit another roadblock. We hit the roundabout that takes traffic off the bridge into Milton's Point. So where are cyclists supposed to go here? Well, the official route has cyclists joining in this extremely dangerous and busy roundabout and jumping into that street. So now we're on Middlemist Street heading north towards North Sydney CBD. It's good, there is a bike lane on this street. Granted, it is only on one side, but I think it's pretty appropriate. It is quite a quiet street. But it's once you get to the end of it that you realise you're at a awful crossroads. So you can't go up that street just there because that is a one-way street, although it does lead straight to North Sydney. This leaves cyclists with no choice but to turn right into the tunnel and head up a shared pedestrian cyclist bike path. So this part of the bike path has been extremely scrutinised recently, with the council moving to ban cyclists from the area. The council moved to promptly remove the shared path signage on the western side of the Pacific Highway between Blue Street and Arthur Street, and installing of a no cycling signage at Arthur Street and Blue Street. Also, that no cycling footpath stencils should be installed on the footpath on the western side of the Pacific Highway between Blue Street and Arthur Street in the same manner as St. Peter's Park. The issue here is that they've banned cycling from this path without providing an alternative. I will admit this path is not appropriate for shared use, but where else are cyclists supposed to go? The only other options for cyclists would be to turn left at the roundabout and to use Lavender Street to get up to North Sydney. But as we all know, Lavender Street is already quite busy. It's a narrow road, has parked cars on one side, and already has a lot of traffic, meaning this route is dangerous for cyclists and motorists. Alright, so let's get back to the journey. We've just hit Pacific Highway, that's Blue Street there, just on the left, and we're going to go over to this pedestrian island. Now, this is where the ride gets really dangerous. Cyclists can either go left up Pacific Highway or right down Walker Street. Now, neither has a bike lane nor does it have a shared path. So I ended up riding up Pacific Highway and at the intersection turning right into Miller Street. Now, I stopped on Miller Street to take note of this new pedestrian plaza they're putting in. Now, I think it's great that we are putting in more plazas and spaces for pedestrians in our CBD. It's quite packed. But I find it quite funny that the council chose to put in a pedestrian plaza before they chose to put in a simple bike lane. So as you can see, I'm still riding without any protection here. So as I head up Miller Street, there still isn't any separated bike lanes for cyclists, yet there is a space between parked cars and the road. Yet there's no point in cyclists riding there because it's extremely dangerous if a car opens their door or if they, move even a few centimetres to the left or right, they'll be running into a parked car. So now we're about to pass the place that has been holding back cycling in North Sydney for so long, the North Sydney Council. Now, North Sydney Council has made some progress to building better bike infrastructure, but we're nowhere near there. Between Narrenburn and Milton's Point, there is a disjointed, dysfunctional and unsafe bike route. To put this all into perspective, you could ride on bike-specific paths only, all the way from Macquarie University, through Lane Cove and St Leonard's, down to Narrenburn and Camaray, where the bike route suspiciously stops until the Harbour Bridge. We need and deserve better cycling conditions, and come December 4th, we can vote to make that happen.